Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 181 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and we've got a great show today. We've got some amazing houses. The first one's in East Dallas on Lange Circle, and if you don't know where that is, you do not want to miss this. And we're going to go down to Victory Park and take a look at an amazing condo that has some amazing views.
Really does. And in our second half today, we're going to talk about quartz countertops, benefits. Should you do it? Should you not? That's what we're going to talk about.
Pay attention. It's expensive. You don't want to make a mistake.
You don't.
Well, this weather has been something else, hasn't it?
Oh, it's beautiful outside.
I jokingly said if it was like this all year around, that we couldn't afford to live here. And I think we found a really funny little thing that we saw online, and we wanted to share it with you. Take a look at this. If you're not from Texas, if you are from Texas, you know what this means. But if you're not, this is a funny little video or clip we saw. Says, FYI, new people, Texas is still preheating, and it could not be more true. I think 2 weekends ago, you were able to get in your pool, but I bet after the rain and after the temperature, it is not possible now.
I would bet it's probably a lot cooler now than it is just based on all the rain that we've had. I have absolutely, we had those 4 or 5 days where there was almost 100 degrees and people kind of freaked out over it for a little bit, but I thought that was like a good precursor, and now we've got this really cool temperate weather. What is it, 75, 80 degrees out there?
I would be one of the ones that did freak out, even though I'm from here, is that I thought, oh my gosh, given the drought concerns that we've had and that we're already hitting these temps, I was like, we're in for a long summer. Not saying that we're not, I'm just saying that it's going to be very interesting. And while we were experiencing some of those 100-degree weathers, I feel like you may have been out of town.
Yeah, there was a big cardboard stand-up of me like this last week here that was, I thought, funny as could be.
Well, and then I took it to your house and I put it in your guest room. Tell us about what happened with that.
I walked around the corner and scared the crap out of me. I thought somebody was standing in my guest room. It was, anyway. Yeah.
It was a good one.
Yeah, thank you for covering last week. Puerto Vallarta was a lot of fun. We went down for 4 or 5 days and just had a blast. Did absolutely nothing, which was really kind of what I needed to do. And then I feel like it's been a whirlwind since then, because I came back and I went to see Daniel Tosh with a bunch of friends Friday night.
Amazing.
Which he is one of the most crass comedians you will ever listen to, but he is an equal opportunity offender.
Yeah,
I mean, there's not anybody in the audience that's not going to get picked on at some point.
Right.
Saturday went to a wedding. That was a lot of fun. Saturday afternoon went to Tupp's Brewery in McKinney, which was, I've never been there before. I've had their beer before, but went to that. That was a lot of fun. Sunday, what did we do on Sunday? I mean, it's just the whole day was whole weekend was a whirlwind. So
good for you. I loved it. It's very interesting too in real estate, because over the weekend we also put Willow Lane under contract out there in Melissa, and we got a repair amendment that came back, and there were 3 concerns on the repair amendment, and it was quite interesting because within the matter of about 30 minutes we were able to take and have video sent via text to me and then back to the listing or the buyer's agent, showing that those 3 elements had been addressed and fixed, and there was no longer a repair amendment. And that is how technology is shaping and moving at the speed of light, how real estate transactions happen. It was great. I really was so excited about having that worked out like that.
yeah, that was really good.
It was interesting.
I got to watch everything from afar just through the text.
You saw the text streams. One of the
Yeah.
things that I think is different about the way that you and I do business is, like, with all of our clients, teams are all over the place right now. I think it's just like this domino effect of everybody scrambling to get on the team. But one of the benefits that you and I have as a team is that with our clients, we always start a text stream that has all 3 of us, all 4 of us. And so that at any given moment, whether we're in front of each other or it's somehow playing out, we both know what is happening all the time. And so it really allows you and I to be so much quicker on responses and just really provide that hand holding and that detail attention that so many clients want today, just because it's a very stressful environment right now.
Yeah, and they deserve it. I mean, it's,
I like that is perfect. They deserve it.
They do.
So
Let's look at Market Watch.
Market Watch.
Yeah,
let's do that. All right, so we're going to take a look at Market Watch this month or this week versus last week. If you look at the coming soon, we are up 30%. So that's 127 this week. Last week, we had 98. So it's not like a monster jump when you look at the numbers, but the percentage looks really great. new activity. So what has just come on in the last 7 days in Dallas County, that's down 6%. So we had 497 this week. Last week we had 527. That's a pretty nice number. One of the considerations taken into account is that last weekend was graduation, and that really does kind of hinder some of the houses coming on the market. Lots of family in town, lots of festivities. If we look at option period, so what has gone under contract in the last 7 days, so this is the time period in which buyers get to do their due diligence and take a look at what's under the hood, and that is down 2%, which is 391 versus last week we had 401. So again, the percentages are small, and so is the number difference in the two.
And our pendings are up about 20%. There were 305 in the last 7 days that went usually from an option period to a pending status. A week before there were only 255, and then the number of solds was up 6% to 443, and that's actually, I think, a really good sign, because traditionally we see all those closings occur right at the end of the month, as opposed to like in the middle of the month, which is kind of what we're looking at right now.
It is a very interesting thing. And so this is what we do, and we are just looking at 7 days, and we're just looking at Dallas County. But one of the great things that we can do for you, if you're watching, or we do for our clients, is we can do this for areas that they live in or areas that they are interested in. And so this way you get a really great idea of what's happening, and it allows you to have historical data to be able to make the best decision and feel comfortable and strong about that.
And even if you're not in the market to buy or sell right now, we can provide that information to you. We provide a lot of people comparable data information, especially around this time of year when the appraisal districts begin revaluing property, and it helps people make a decision about, is it worth protesting or is it not?
Yep.
So, and this year we've had a lot of people that have reached back out to us that have said, hey, I wasn't able to get anything done. That just happens. But there were several that said, yeah, I did get some form of reduction in value, which
every penny helps.
It does. $1,000 in value is about $18 worth of taxes that are reduced each year.
And didn't you reduce your base by 15,000?
I got it down to about 15,000. Yeah.
Nice. Mine's not a chance. Not a chance. So let's take a look at that first house. So we've got that's 6574 Lane Circle. It is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-car garage, 2,800 square feet. Price at 1.195. Amazing house.
This is a really great location. Not very far from White Rock Lake. You've got great access to Mockingbird, great access to to Highway 75. There are DART rail stations within biking distance to this, and there's a big park and ride there also at the DART rail station that's right there at White Rock Lake. This is really a really cool property because it's one of the few that sits on Williamson Creek. And Williamson Creek, when you look at it on this map, looks like it's a little bitty body of water, but you'll see when we get to the pictures, it's really a significant little body of water that runs through there that really provides some great views and just great outdoor space.
One of the things too about being in this location is this means that you are on the west side of the lake, which is really important if you're really a commuter and need to have access. Abrams is going to be one of the main highways that's going to get you north and south. Move a little further to the west, that gives you Skillman, again heading north and south, which is great. You can either use Mockingbird or run up and catch Lovers, but both of those will get you east and west. So lots of great connection points here. One of the things that has happened probably in the last 2 or 3 years, we've seen a lot more real restaurants begin to set up shop on this side of 75. One of the ones that is famous now over there is Hudson House. Hudson House, you need a reservation. This is an amazing place. I think you even need a reservation for hanging out at the bar during happy hour. So plan ahead on this one. It is a great place, lots of fresh seafood, and I will also tell you that they have one of the best hamburgers.
They do.
Mark my word.
Yeah.
Best hamburgers in town. And I also believe that their happy hour includes $5 martinis.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Plan ahead.
Another neighborhood restaurant right there is the Dream Cafe. And if you've lived in Dallas for a long time, you know that the Dream Cafe began its existence about 25 years ago down in the Quadrangle, when the Quadrangle was an area that nobody knew. It was before Uptown was Uptown. This is the Lakewood location. And again, same menu. It has some really, really great sandwiches, great soups, great salads, easy to get into and out of at lunch. And highly recommend you go there.
And if you're done with that, head over to Mockingbird Station. Mockingbird Station is the home to the theaters that play a lot of one-off there at Angelica. You also have West Elm that is also present. That has a lot of rotation in this area, a lot of great stores. There's also loft living above, which really kind of makes this a great place. If you don't know, there's some really easy parking there on the West Elm side in a garage. A lot of people miss that and swing around under the theaters, which becomes a little more cumbersome.
And this is also where the Mockingbird Dart Rail line station is, and super bike accessible.
Yeah.
It just really, there's pretty much everything you would want to do right there in that little bitty shopping center. Also, one of my favorite places to go in this area is the Alamo Draft House. And this is the Lake Highlands version of it. There are 3 or 4 others around the Dallas area. I love going there. Their food is really good. Absolutely going to Vetted Well, which is their bar area. It's a great place to go gather before the movie, have a couple of drinks, go in, watch your movie, get great service and food, and then go gather afterwards.
Lots to do over here, and I think that if you're not familiar with East Dallas, let us know. We give you a list that would continue and keep you busy for quite some time.
So jumping into this home at 6574 Lange Circle has such great drive up. It is a huge corner lot. Side entry on the garage, but it also has a circle drive on the side.
And then right here, you can see that they've done some remodeling, and this includes a Craftsman style door and also carriage lights, which is really nice. Again, as Jeff was saying, a really oversized lot that has a ton of mature trees. And when you come in the front door, I love that during their ownership, they did not get rid of the terrazzo floor that you enter into. I feel like it is such a classic piece, and it is so welcome now.
And this is the formal dining room that is right off of that entryway. Great size, very simple. I love the fact that they've retained all of that real delicate molding around.
And so the family room, this is a great ceiling height, seating area, and it also has great access and views that you can get from the back doors.
And built-ins there on the back side of the room. The wood floors go all the way through the first floor, opens off to the right-hand side there into the kitchen. And I jumped ahead. This is the small office area, I believe.
Yep, it is a small office area, and it does connect both to the hallway and also to the kitchen, but also to the formal dining room. And it has a view of the front and also plantation shutters, can lighting, and is perfectly situated. Now you can see here as we turned from the actual office and into the kitchen, you can see they've done a great job with this renovation. The lighting in here is both on top and below the counters. The countertops, I think this probably inspired your second segment idea. The countertops also is the exact same material that goes into the backsplash. A great scene here.
And I like how they've left the cabinetry in the renovation with the wood finish as opposed to painting them out. I think it just provides a lot of richness to that. They've got really good light placement. You can see they've got the small puck lights over the kitchen sink, but then you've also got some recessed can lighting. And then as you step off into the utility room, they have that same countertop that continues back into the back with a full-size set for the washer and dryer.
And before we go too much further, just want to point out that all of the appliances in the kitchen are Viking.
Yes, every
Huge.
one of them.
And so this is going to be the master bedroom. That was a master bathroom. Again, a great oversized. One of the things that helps you kind of keep in context is when we see a really oversized bed with really great nightstands, it does help you understand how large that bedroom is. You can see here you've got additional step in where you can sit, put on your makeup, use it for additional coffee bar if you'd like. This is the second bedroom bathroom that is actually over the garage, and we weren't sure if this was the master.
I think this was the master.
Still the master bathroom. Okay.
This is the bedroom that is over the garage that could be a second master bedroom that is, when we looked at it, we wondered if it was a pop-up, and
Right.
it is not. It is the original construction as far as we could tell. This is the bath that is right off of that original tile that really brings great charm into it. And then as one of the rooms that you step down into, you have a wine cellar, entertainment room. Really use whatever you want that for.
It was great. And we saw that this is a covered space. And in Texas, covered spaces outdoors are amazing. And so it allows you to have outdoor cooking, but more importantly, it allows you to have this amazing view of both your property and of the creek behind.
And you have boat access to this, and they would be non-motorized boats, but you have canoe access, you have your own small dock, you have these really great steps that lead you right down to that area. The landscaping that this owner has done has just really it's created such a great garden feel when you walk out in the backyard.
And I don't know if it was because it was, 70 degrees or whatnot, but I honestly did not feel like we were in Dallas while we were touring this house and walking around this area at the creek. I thought it was so interesting, and it would be the perfect place to have a little canoe ride.
So 6574 Lange Circle is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-car garage. It's about 2,800 square feet. It's offered at $1,195,000, and that is about $429 a square foot. And we wanted to say thank you to Dana Rigg for letting us talk about her listing today. Such a great home. If you would like to see other photos of this that we didn't include, click on the links below. If you'd like to take a look at this home, please reach out to us directly. We would be happy to show it to you.
Absolutely. And so the second home we're going to do is we're going to drift over to Victory Park. This is going to be 2200 Victory Park Avenue, and it is 1801. 1801 means you are on the 18th floor, and it's amazing views. So this portion of Dallas, Victory Park, Jeff, when did Victory Park come out of the ground?
Oh my gosh,
2007?
It was before that, I believe, that it really kind of began its gyration.
Because I got here in 2008, and I remember that Victory Park was like the red hot place to be, and then we had a giant turn in the market, and it has really reclaimed all its glory right now. There is so much to do in this area, and I think one of my biggest congratulations in the design of this is that when there are events in this area, you can get almost everyone out of the American Airlines Center in 20 minutes in their cars. It was so well thought out.
Yeah, it really was. And again, there's a DART rail station right there at Victory Park, which I think was the smartest thing that they could do. Victory Park itself was really started with the American Airlines Center, and then the rest of it was added on. The W Hotel was announced, and then the building like the one that we're going to look at was announced. There is tremendous shopping. There is tremendous dining there. You really can go from one extreme of simple pizza to mid extreme of the like Hero that we went to the other day, and then you can go to a really nice Mexican food restaurant like Macero.
Yep. And the other thing too is the position of this building in correlation to American Airlines. It is far enough away that it's not going to have all of the hustle and bustle pre and post game, but yet it's still close enough to make it an easy walk.
Right.
Some of the other elements that are just around the corner would be the Perot Museum of Nature and Science. This is a gift to Dallas. It is open both. I think they have a night that is for adult nights.
They do.
And it's a really great way for you to kind of get an idea of what there is to offer. It is, again, as we said, a gift, but it is also such an amazing architecture. And within, you can tell here, they have spared no expense, really.
Yeah, it's called Night Out at Perot.
Yeah.
And they do it once a quarter, if I'm not mistaken. We've been to it a couple of times, and it's really cool because not there's anything wrong with kids coming, because I think this is a great hands-on learning experience for kids, but to be able to walk around and not have to give the space to the kids and really be able to do the hands on yourself is fun.
It is great. Now, you know me, and I always want to know where my grocery store is. And one of the best things that's happened recently in this area is that Tom Thumb has come in. And so they've done a great job of providing really quality store, both prepared foods and, if you'd like to cook in your own gourmet kitchen, as we're going to talk about here shortly. This is just an extra thing that makes living downtown that much easier.
It really doesn't. This has great parking. When you look at it on the face of it, you think, oh my gosh, where am I going to park? Has a tremendous free parking garage with direct access to the store.
You know what else they let you do in this one? But I don't know if it's just because of the customers or whatnot, but there are a lot of people walking around drinking wine and beer while they shop in this Tom Thumb. More than any other Tom Thumb I've ever seen in my life.
I'm going to try that at my Tom Thumb and see if I can do that.
Best of luck.
I know this.
Let me know how that goes. All right, so this is going to be 2200 Victory Lane. This is unit 1801. It is a 1-bedroom, 2-bath, 1 full, 1 half, 1 car space, and it is really large. It is 1540 square feet.
And this is at the house, which is just a tremendous project that was designed by Philippe Starck. You can see a lot of the oversized furniture here in the lobby is really kind of his. I'm sorry, this is up in one of the entertainment areas, and it's just such a wonderful feel that I don't think you get in any other building in Dallas.
They thought really long and hard about this project, and you can see here you have a little entry, and one of the great things about this entry is that the half bath is just to the right of this. So we've got this long shot as we'll turn here. Actually, we're going to look into the kitchen, but it's a really great shot. It is open to the entire space. The design of this kitchen is functional, and yet it is an architectural classic. As you can see here, they've done the larger centimeter granite, about 3 or 4 inches. And again, we're seeing how they carry that up into the cabinets on the backsplash. And then let's pivot and take a look at this great view.
Yeah, this is what you pay for right here. You really have that view. And you know, whether it's a night or day, it's going to be that spectacular. This is one of those homes that is, while it is only a 1-bedroom, the 1500 square feet part of it really makes a difference in it. I don't feel like you miss anything in this.
And it's important for there to be enough wall space that you can have art. There also needs to be space where you can have a little bar on the end right there on where the orchid is, but also dining and entertaining. I cannot imagine how cool it would be to have either game night or to actually have over dinner. And you also have a step out balcony that is large enough for seating, which is really important because a lot of times these feel like more like Juliet's and exposed, whereas this one is actually covered.
And this is the powder bath that is right off of the entry. Again, a lot of designer touches with this, with the way the vessel sinks are put in, the lighting, just the size, attention to size detail, I think is really making a difference.
Yep. And this is the master, and you can see the support, but we also, the way that it's set up, we have a little seating area in here, which I thought was really great. Again, I'm looking for wall space and light that'll give me places to put my art and actually highlight it. This has that over and over again. And as we transition into this gorgeous spa-like retreat that they call the master bathroom, you see this gorgeous step-in tub. And again, vessel sinks, framed mirrors, pendant lights. It's just all of these elements that begin to stack up on top of each other, just create, again, I can't say enough, a spa-like environment.
And this is the small office that's kind of tucked away off of the side of the living room, big enough to have a desk there, guest chairs, large format art if you want. You still get that really spectacular view that is just, it's hard to come by. Yeah,
it is floor to ceiling. It is amazing. It is inspiring to say the least. And when you step out onto the patio, you can see here they also have one side in glass, and this is looking more towards the Woodall Rogers. One of the amazing things about this is you can see Fountain Place, the I Am Pay architecture building, and then looking just over the edge, you get to see the park below. So if you've got a 4-legged friend that needs to take a stretch in the morning or in the evening, we've got plenty of space for you. And if you go to the outdoor space that are available, this is on the pool. This is some of the seating area that is available to you, and it is amazing.
And this is one of the inside game rooms that the residents have access to. And this, when you look at this, it is really a much larger room than what it appears in that photograph.
Right. And so this space is great for being used not only during the daytime to lounge by the pool, but also in the evening to wind down with wine and friends. And you can see here they've done an amazing job with this pool. What we really like about the pool is there's lots of common area, but if you needed a little more tucked away casita, you can see those that are also on the right.
So this is 2200 Victory Avenue, unit number 1801 at the house. It's a 1-bedroom, 2-bath, one assigned space, built in 2007. It's about 1,540 square feet. is priced at $645,000, and that is about $418 a square foot. And we'd like to say thank you to Claudine King for letting us talk about her listing today.
Yep.
If you would like to see other photos of the property, just click on the links below and that'll come up for you. If you'd like to take a look at this house, give us a call. We'd be happy to make that happen. And with that, we'll be right back. There are lots of ways to keep up with us. Visit and like our Facebook page to watch us live and get updates about future show topics. Also, visit our Instagram account where you can see the latest homes we have for sale. You can also check out our website at updikepugh.com where you can create customized searches of active and sold homes that you may find of interest. If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, visit homeprice.fyi and you can get a price instantly. Just enter your address and a couple of other pieces of information and we will email you a price. If you are on the go and podcasts are better for you, our second segments are available on iTunes and Spotify. Last of all, you can reach out to us by phone or text at 214-377-2223. Hi everybody. Welcome back to second segment, episode 181 of Sold with Updike Pugh. I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and today we're going to talk a little bit about quartz and some of the things that you should know about it before you make one of the most expensive investments in your house. It also has one of the biggest impacts in the kitchen.
Yeah, and when we look at the two houses in the previous segment today, you could see how they had used their granite and quartz and marble in different places of the house, and they had used it really, really well. And I think they had put a lot of thought into the decision before. So, today we just wanted to kind of talk through the positives, the negatives, what are other alternatives to quartz. Right. Quartz has kind of become the go-to in a lot of places because granite's more expensive. Right. Quartz is a man-made product that they make in a variety of colors, and when you have large formats that you're a lot of space that you're trying to use it on, sometimes in trying to match up the granite or match up marble, it became really difficult to do, and it's so much easier with quartz.
The great thing about quartz too is because it is man-made, there are elements that they can add that make it more durable. Which is one of the most important things, given that this is an actual surface that you'll be doing quite a bit of work on. You want to make sure that you're not putting something on there that has a shelf life of 5 years or that it looks dingy in 2, which could be a huge problem, especially if you're paying top dollar for that.
Good. One of the positives I think you were about to get into is that it is so durable.
Yeah.
I mean, it is highly durable. It is also stain resistant, but it's only stain resistant if you seal it.
And it is.
And how do we know that?
Because yes. Anyway, you need to take in red wine, coffee, tomato, all of these items that have a high dye content. And I will tell you the other thing, some of these sports drinks as well, including Kool-Aid, you need to get that up. That red dye is not your friend. A lot of times you can have a professional come out and take that up for you. But be proactive, and you're right, seal that thing good.
And a couple of cons in using the quartz is, one is it is sensitive to heat, so you can discolor it. Putting a hot pot down on it. There are a lot, and you can get it in a variety. Well, I'm going back to the pros. You can get it in a variety of thicknesses, usually 2 centimeter or 3 centimeter, or what we find mostly used out there.
So one of the things to also think about when you're having it installed is hire the professional that can get the job done. And it is worth your time to interview to find out the installers, is this their first day on the job? Talk about if there are stairs that they will be coming up if you're in a condo or a high rise. Make accommodations for the elevator as well. Sometimes there are a huge set of guidelines that must be met before that gets installed. And from previous experience, I know that you need to know where the water cutoff is. For some reason, I had countertops installed one time, have no idea what they were cutting, and they cut into the wall and clipped the water line. Got a panicked call that they needed the cutoff. The brand new condo, I had no idea where it was. Luckily, I was on the first floor and not the third floor. Otherwise, I would have flooded my clients, my neighbors below. So do the big questions up front with your installer.
Absolutely. As I talked about before, one of the really good things about using quartz is the ability to be able to use the same color throughout as many places as you want, because being a man-made product, it's so much easier.
One of the things that you may want to also visit with as you tour different yards, is what they call them, is to find out how big the space is that you're going to be using and if they have remnants that actually might work. I've had a remnant turned into a table that was amazing. And a lot of times, if you're using a remnant, they will give you a much better deal on the price. I think my last bit of advice is that have them come out and take the measurements. If you give them the measurements for the area or for the table, if it is incorrect, it is your mistake and your costs to get it right. If they make the mistake, then they will figure out how to make it right.
And most of the time, these slabs are done in 9 and 10 foot length or width, whatever you want to call them, then 5 to 6 foot high. And so where Weston was talking about remnants, many times what can happen is they may not use that entire slab in a job, and so they've got a piece big enough left over that they can do like a small bathroom sink, or they could do a Saran table, or do small side tables if you want out of those.
So it's very interesting, because I think that in I know for a fact in the high rise that we just showed there in Victory Park, what they did was they cut an extra piece and made it look like it was thick, like 4 centimeters thick. And that is like the big go-to in the design world. And so a couple of weeks ago, we had Summer on the show. And when Summer and I were previewing houses, we were looking at a house and I said, that waterfall edge is really becoming like a not so trendy. And I thought I broke her heart. And she was like, I will forever love my waterfall edge. So it's a great product. It can do a lot of different things. We're seeing them used even on windowsills right now, which is amazing.
And there are some alternatives. If you don't like the quartz product, if you want to go with something that has more of a natural vein in it, or whatever, you do have options out there. You can go the direction of marble. I think when we looked at the condo in the previous segment, when you look in that master bathroom, those were all done with the 12 by 12 marble tiles, which give you a very natural look. You can also go with granite, which gives you that natural look as well. Sometimes in the quartz products, when they're trying to vein the product, it doesn't turn out and look quite as natural as the others are going to. But again, it's going to be a less expensive product than some of the other alternatives.
And if your budget is a big budget, then I would say that you need to look into book matching a marble or a granite. And that's when there's a vein that runs through it, and they slice these slabs and they keep them concentric. And so if there is a vein and you can open it up, it's called book matching, where you'll take and put them like this. And so veins will run like this, and it makes some really amazing patterns.
It really does.
Really great for a statement piece in a fireplace, in a master shower walk-in, or even if you've got a kitchen that is large enough. That is a beautiful way to explore that. Also know that when you get into color, black and white, it's your average price. But when you get into like the blues, and you get into the greens, and maybe something has an amber in it, that can really adjust your price. So be careful. If you've got a spouse or a loved one that you're going to be doing a remodel with, and they fall in love with blue, you better get ready to change your price point, because it's not cheap.
Yeah, and they can run quartz, granite, all of those products can run anywhere between $40 and $100 a square foot
Easily.
And that is it's a very wide parameter. But if you're on the $40 a square foot range, you're probably looking at something that's a 2 centimeter thickness. It's probably going to be a very simple white or off-white, and then it just really kind of goes up from there.
Absolutely. It's all about who has the product that you want. You definitely want to shop this out. It is key, and there are so many granite yards here in the Dallas area, in the design district and whatnot. It is worth your time, and it will take probably month or so to get through all of them.
It will. And many times you'll go to a granite shop and they will not do the fabricating themselves. Correct. They are only selling the granite. And so some of them are comfortable giving you names and numbers of fabricators, some are not. Just know that is probably a 2-part process, and the fabricator is the one that's going to send the person out to actually do the measurements and really make sure everything's going to fit right the day it installs.
Yep. So we hope you found this interesting. If it is, let us know in the comments below. And other than that, we want to be your realtors of life, and we'll see you next week.